How About That Cigar is proud to bring you coverage of the 2023 PCA Trade Show, all brought to you by Don Doroteo Cigars. How About That Cigar, PCA 2023, day number 3. Steve Saka. We are here with Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust. It's a beautiful morning.
You're like literally. I'm like 1 day away from like being a zombie. I am so beat up.
But you haven't reached like clock tower level yet, have you?
Dude, here's the problem. If I'm in the clock tower, it's not to pull the trigger, it's to jump, because I don't have the energy to aim. All I can do is like go to the edge and fall off. Man.
No, I know what you mean.
I don't know. I'm just, man, this city is rough.
It is. This is not for the weak. But sometimes, you know, like you've said in previous years, you're out, you're being active, you're gambling, you're drinking, and this year you said you've just not been doing that.
Zero. I've been. Last night was my latest night out, and I was still in bed before midnight.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but all the previous nights, I've been in bed before 10 o'clock.
Wow.
Yeah, I have been like a little Boy Scout, so good. I haven't been eating as much. I've barely been drinking. That's a lie. I've been drinking during the trade show to get through these interviews with guys like you. So,
well, you have to get through it with guys like me.
Yeah, what choice do I have? It's just too mind-numbing.
You're not going to do this sober.
Yeah.
Who wants that?
The only thing is, I haven't started yet because we did get a little early. So
Yeah, first interview of the, second interview of the day.
But the guy I have at noon's a total asshole. So yeah, I'm gonna have to do a full pour for that one. Actually, I don't even know who I have at noon. Maybe we should check that.
Oh shit. I don't even want to know.
Who did I just disparage?
Don't tell me. I don't.
Oh yeah, he's a dick. It's fine.
You're gonna say the same thing with the guy after me. And I'm all good with that. You're not wrong. So we were before we even turned the cameras on. You're saying that just from a pure accounts perspective, it's been an absolutely killer trade show. That's cool, man.
Yeah, it's so many factors. Product's right, branding's right. We have great retail customers. We have great consumers that just continue to support us. And look, we're having I was telling you, I mean, we beat our very best show total number on day one.
Which is fantastic.
Which is just like crazy, right? The only bad thing for me is I just think of how much more work I now have ahead of me to keep up with it all. But, I mean, you can't help but feel blessed. Yeah. You can't. I mean, I'm going to bitch and moan about it because that's what I do. But no, I'm really genuinely thankful. Yeah. It's been a surprise. And look, I know everybody from the outside thinks it's just like easy street and you're doing so great. Man, everybody is grinding. I mean, even these companies that everybody thinks is super hot, the small guys, the Nicks of the world, the Erics of the world, all of them. Man, we are working our balls off. Yep. It's tough, man. We got a lot of really big, well-established competitors that have all the advantages, right? They have the economy of scale. They have huge distribution models. They have massive sales teams. Yeah. I mean, they got huge marketing departments. They got everything. Right. The only thing they don't got is they don't got the innovation. They don't got the creativity. They don't actually have the touch, right? So that's the only place that we have. But for us to break through that wall of just, mediocrity, it's tough. Yeah. It's one thing to reach the geek consumer, the guys like you and me. We look for that stuff. Sure. But how do you get that guy that goes into the store and just keeps reaching into that same shitty legacy brand box? Cigar isn't bad, but it's nothing special, right? Yeah. How do you get that guy to, all of a sudden wake up and go, wait a minute, for $1 more I could be smoking this? Yeah. And it's such a different experience. It's not as easy as people think it is. It's tough. So going from the guy who goes into the liquor store every week and buys a case of Miller Lite and then one day says, you know what, I'm going to buy some Yingling instead or something like that. Right. Yeah. So, and I do want to talk about some other stuff, but our
viewers absolutely want to get caught up on all the stuff that you guys are featuring
Oh my God.
this year at the trade show. And you guys really you got a busy year.
How long a podcast is this?
Oh, it's as long as we need it to be.
All right. So let's bang out the easy stuff first. We have a new holiday still that's going to drop in November. I actually had to table the one I was working on because I wasn't happy with it and go with a backup one that I had actually done over a year and a half ago. It's an aromatic, but this time with a Connecticut shade wrapper. It's a different blend, and it's also a different blend of aromatic pipe tobacco. So if you enjoyed the number one and you enjoyed the holiday year 2022, you are probably very much going to like the holiday year 2023.
Okay.
If you didn't like those two other ones, don't buy this one because you will be as equally disappointed in this one. So just that's the caveat.
Yeah.
We're taking Popetta nationwide now. It was our event-only promo cigar. I need to actually sell more Popettas because we keep growing and making more Mike Ritas and Ombagogs and Tricky Tracas, and now we're adding Red Meat Lovers. I'm generating so much high-quality Chavetta cuts that I need a place to use the material. So we're making this 4x48. For the people that aren't familiar with it, it's a 4x48 mixed fill cigar, but it's different than a normal sandwich cigar because we're only using the cuts from the really good products. We aren't just throwing all the crap in it. And on top of that, we're also separating out the cuts, and we don't use all the cuts. Popetta has a specific blend. And then on top of that, we also use 2 pieces of long filler leaf to give it some structure. So it's not all spongy and like all droppy ash in your lap kind of nonsense.
Yeah.
And then we put a really good San Andres Negro binder, same one that we use on Mi Querida, and it has the same wrapper. What we do, though, is because when we take the wrapper cuts, you always have this kind of butt edge on the outside that's unusable because it's too short. But that's why we can make Popettas in 4 inches.
Okay.
We can take that piece of really high-quality wrapper and put it on. So I think the MSRP on it's going to be like a little over $7, but, knowing where most box discounts fall, I think most guys are going to be able to smoke the cigar for like $6.50. I mean, and even though it's only 4 inches long, it lasts about 40 minutes.
It's a slow burner.
It's a slow burner. It's well packed, so it's a lot of flavor.
Yeah.
So if you like heavier cigars, you'll like Popetta.
Okay.
If you are the holiday guy, don't buy this one.
Yeah.
Because this one ain't for you. What else we got jamming? We got obviously Krakatoa. The first drop is going to be in September. Been working on this blend for well over 3 years. I mean, I skipped a year because I couldn't get it right. And then the year I was supposed to release Popetta the second time, I actually ended up releasing Bewitched because I still wasn't happy with Krakatoa.
Yeah.
Right? So it got skipped a second year. So finally this year, I'm done. I'm happy. It's where I want it to be. I'll be so glad when it's gone and I don't have to think about it again. I hope people really like it. I hope I didn't overthink the blend. But 3 years is a long time to tinker with a blend. It really is.
Yeah.
What else? Got Red Meat Lovers.
Yeah.
Nationwide release on Red Meat Lovers. It's probably the most successful individual store exclusive in the history. I mean, we've been doing it for over 5 years for Smoke In. Started as making a cigar for charity dinners for the Red Meat Lovers Club, and it just then became 300, then 500 boxes, and then 1,000, and then 2,000, and I think last year we were like up to 5,000. I mean, and so I took my 2 favorite sizes, because every year I would do something different. I took my 2 favorites, which were the 6x52 and the beef stick, which is a Pareo. It's kind of kitschy. It's got a flat cap top and bottom to look like a beef stick.
Yeah.
I kept both of those because those are my 2 favorites out of the last 5 years. And I added 2 more that have never been tasted before. I added a big boy, a 6x60, but it's a prensado. So it doesn't feel like a 60 in the mouth because of the trunk press.
Yeah.
And then I added a Robusto that's really, really nice.
Okay.
So there's the 2 best from the last 5 years, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I think also by the reviews.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And then there's 2 more for people to have something new and fresh. And I think it's really interesting because it's really rare that a retailer gets to bring a new brand into their shop that has 5 years of sales history where it's more than doubled every year and literally has thousands of positive reviews.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, wow, if you're going to take a chance on something, this is the one to take a chance on, right? Because I mean, when do you get? I can't promise what'll happen. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I mean, this got a lot of. And that's probably one of the reasons why we're doing so well this year too.
Yeah.
It is kind of a no fucking brainer, right? And then, we're juicing up SakaCon and Mickey Rita Black. The Mickey Rita Black is the third iteration. It's the top tier in the Mickey Rita family. Last year I did the 7 1/4 by 54, the SakaCon, and this year so that was the size that I fell in love with when I got into cigars back in the 80s. I was smoking that big cigar, and of course you're gonna name something SakaCon, it's got to be big, right? Yeah. But this year I decided to make kind of the more modern day Saka. Fast forward 800 years into the future, I'm smoking a lot more, 48 ring gauge cigars. And so PapaSaka is 5 5/8 by 48. I love it. I think the blend is even better in this size. It's got a bit more pop.
Yeah.
And it's still lasts. It's a good long smoke because it's like everything. Almost everything we make is really well constructed.
Yeah.
So it always burns cool. It burns dense. It's nice. And but PapaSaka, I'm like an addict on those. I just keep smoking like 4 or 5 every single day for like the last few months. Yeah, I don't.
Well, I know guys that love the SakaCon, but didn't always have time for.
Yeah, that SakaCon lasts almost 3 hours,
right.
man. Even a guy like me who like a chimney, I'm like good for 2.5 hours on a SakaCon. I mean, I imagine if Charlie Minato smoked the SakaCon, maybe like 8 hours, right? 8.2 hours. You know what I mean? And like, yeah.
But he would never have to relight it.
Never.
He would keep it burning just right. There's also the unicorns of the.
Oh, see, I forget. See, I even forget. Yeah. So we've done the regular unicorn, which is its own blend.
Right.
So the way these unicorns came about is I kind of fucked myself.
Oh no.
About 2 years ago, I put myself up to be on a charity auction to do this thing where we were going to go on a tugboat ride with Saka and smoke cigars. And part of the deal was that I would make 100 custom cigars, whatever they wanted for the winner.
Yeah.
Well, the tugboat charity thing got stupid. So what ended up happening is like 4 guys formed a corporation to split the cost.
Yeah.
Because it got like up to like 14, 15, 17. It was like a stupid number, right? It's for charity. It was not to ride a boat with Saka, trust me. I hope. So now you got these 4 guys that split the prize. But do you think these 4 knuckleheads could agree what the 100 cigars is that they want?
Good luck.
Right. So then they're like, okay, can you make me a custom unicorn? I'm like, yeah, I can make you a custom unicorn. But then then they start arguing about, well, I want it to be mild and I want it to be strong. And I'm like, guys, it was one prize, 100. It wasn't like I was your personal valet cigar blender for life here. I said, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a mild unicorn and I'm going to make a strong unicorn. And that's what I'm going to do. And if you don't like it, I will give you your money back, okay?
Yeah.
And just let me be. So I decided to take 2 of my favorite blends, the Brulee Blue blend, which is my favorite mild blend.
Yeah, I'm smoking
and
it now.
my current favorite heavy blend, which is the black, and work on them to make unicorns. And then in January, when we got together to do the Let's Smoke with Saka and get our 100 cigars, they each got both.
Okay.
I actually gave them more cigars than they paid for. But, and I just like, man, these are just too good.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? Why not let retailers have it too?
Okay.
And the thing about it is, we're not even selling them.
Okay.
We're just, these unicorns, we're giving these to our best accounts as a thank you for their business, as a thank you for their support.
Yeah.
We really appreciate it. There's only 200 of the one cabinet and 200 of the other cabinet. Now we'll make more. I always make more unicorns, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna make them in smaller cabinets, probably 7 to these 10 count ones. They look glorious.
Beautiful.
Fucking pain in the ass to pack.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like stupid.
And retailers
it's like 23 inches long.
Yeah.
I don't care what the retailers think because they're getting it for free.
Well, that's true.
Right?
That's a good
come
point.
on.
That's a good point.
It's like, oh, you're bitching your water's too wet and your apple's too red. Give me a break here, right? You got this for free, and they're gonna all sell. So it's like me just handing you $1,000, right? That's what I'm doing.
You're welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome. Oh, I'm sorry, it's a little too long, but it is.
Yeah.
So we'll trim it down, but they turned out. I gotta tell you, they're sexy, man.
Yeah,
I mean, they are so sexy.
Especially that glossy blue color.
Glossy blue.
That is, I mean, it looks like something you'd see in a Tiffany window.
And honestly, the cigars are great.
Yeah.
They're still the same stupid price. Okay, I mean, it's still not worth it. I mean, it's like you got $100. You're much better off buying a bottle of Umbagogs and then going to McDonald's and getting an extra value meal, right? I mean. But unicorns have never been that, right?
Yeah.
I've always been very honest about it.
Yeah, it's not been about value.
Unicorns are about marking a moment, celebrating the birth of a grandchild, marking an anniversary, sharing it with your dad on his 75th birthday.
It's supposed to be an extravagance.
Yeah, it's meant to be a unicorn. It's meant to be something special.
Yeah.
And like I said, we're not making any money. We're giving them away, actually, is what we're doing on this, all of these. So... It's look, I'm not charitable. Don't want anyone to get that impression. They buy a lot of stuff from us in order to be an account that's worthy of having unicorns. So we're getting ours, but we're not getting ours on unicorns.
Yeah.
And but I gotta tell you, I haven't smoked. I need to smoke more of them because all the ones I've smoked have always been in the QC process. I have yet to sit down and smoke either of them where I'm just like on the back deck with a bourbon.
Yeah.
Not like with a notepad in my hand being really critical and like, oh, I don't like this and I don't like that. So I have yet to really take the moment to savor them.
Yeah.
But they're both really, really good. And I think which is better is really just about the type of cigar you like to smoke.
Yeah.
If you really are in love with the brulee, then the blue one's the way to go. And if you love the heavier end of the spectrum, then the black one is the winner.
Yeah.
And also there's something kind of weird. It ends up being black and blue.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, it just kind of worked out that way. So yeah, we got a lot of stuff.
You're right. There's so much going on.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Now, as you know, there's so many retailers, coming and going at this show, and is there some kind of is there a trend line that you pay attention to or that you see from like just the core lines of Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust where things trend for a while and then it switches and then it maybe switches back?
So yeah, look, everything always is going around in circles, but I can say right now, we don't have a single core that isn't growing.
Okay.
Even regular sober Mesa's still doing well.
Yeah.
It's still growing. Right now, Brulee and Mi Querida are probably neck and neck, right? But oddly enough, Sin Compromiso just kind of quietly is kind of like really been coming on the last couple of years.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's kind of surprising. And then the other thing that I think for a lot of people like that watch podcasts like this, Stillwell is doing really, really well. You don't see much social media love on Stillwell, but that aromatic #1, at the rate it's going, it might catch up with my Brulee number next year. I mean, it's really now, it's the aromatic #1. That Bayou number 32, it's a dog.
Okay.
My favorite one is the one that consumers are just not buying.
Oh.
I mean, it sells and it's fine, but it's definitely the aromatic #1 and the Navy are way outpacing English.
Yeah.
And then Bayou is like somewhere over there. It's like the fat kid that's walking at the back of the track and he's been lapped 2 times. That's poor Bayou number 32. Maybe that's why I identify with that fat kid.
Well,
but yeah, I mean, we're just, everything is just doing nice.
Nice, that's good.
Yeah, it's one of the things because we're in an industry where most new stuff lasts like a year, 2 years, 3 years at the most, and then it all just kind of dies, or just goes soft.
Yeah,
we don't have anything soft.
Well, and we've even seen not just from other websites that do like reviews and then top 10 lists or whatever at the end of the year, but even from us, some cigars that we were really big on just a couple of years ago.
Yeah, you're like, this is the next great thing.
They
don't even exist.
They're gone.
You ever want to just go and look at like the half wheel consensus list from 10 years ago?
Yeah.
And look at what's on the top of it. You're like, this is the next coming.
Yeah.
And then, like, literally, that stuff was closed out 5 years ago.
Yeah.
It's a total non-existence.
We sit and talk and sort of reminisce, like, oh, you remember that cigar? You remember how big everybody was on that
everybody
cigar?
Everybody says that, like, oh, yeah, really. If you bought it, it would still be around.
Yeah.
So it obviously wasn't good enough for you to buy it on the repeat.
Yeah.
So as much as consumers will wax poetic about, oh, what an amazing this and that it was, it obviously wasn't amazing enough.
Yeah.
Because it isn't like the manufacturer or the brand owner wanted to stop making it.
Yeah.
You make stuff in the hope that you're going to have a Mickey Rita, Sober Mesa, something that is going to grow. That's what you're hoping for.
Yeah.
So it is a little, look, there's every once in a while there's something that for some quirky reason goes away.
Yeah.
But most stuff goes away just simply because consumers aren't buying it.
Right.
And look, as a consumer, you have so many new things every year vying for your attention. And that's what makes it such a challenge to have something like Sober Mesa that continues to grow. Because every year, you not only have to compete against the Padrones and the Floors and the Altinuses and the Drew Estates, but you also have to compete with all the new stuff that gets dumped into the market. So it's a tough gig. It really is. That's why most stuff dies.
Right. Yeah.
And this is nothing
new.
It's
a lot of competition.
It's always been this way.
Sure. Yeah.
I always feel bad for the small guys.
Yeah.
Because they just have no idea what sort of like belt sander they're putting their face into.
Oh God, yeah.
I mean, they just don't know.
Yeah.
But it's good because they're full of vim and vigor and enthusiasm, and like they're really into what they're doing. But yeah, talk to them about 4 or 5 years later, like, oh my God, Brian. Yeah. No, it's
like whenever somebody takes their first day of office as the president.
Oh yeah.
They got dark hair, and then their last day of
like
office
movie
they're
star
gray.
Sexy, and by the end they're exhausted.
I just want to say you look too stressed.
Oh yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. Say hi to the camera, Joe. Say hi to the camera.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
That's staying in, by the way.
Yeah.
That's staying in.
Thank you.
By the way, folks, that was Mr. Joe Arundel from Rain City Cigars. He is a legacy tobacconist from the Pacific Northwest. Really, really good guy.
Nice.
And, when the taxes got really stupid up there and everybody folded, he was one of the few guys that stuck it out.
Okay.
So, yeah, he's true blue.
Still going.
It's still going. God bless you, Joe.
It is tough to survive.
Buy more shit for me, Joe.
Yeah.
But he was in the booth, so obviously he gave me some money.
That's right. And it is tough to survive for any of those people that are in those ridiculous tax states.
It's not even just ridiculous taxes, it's just ridiculous rules.
Yeah.
Just, come on.
Yeah.
Whole fucking area has just become a big pothead state, right? It's like, it's crazy. You got some guy like fucking a spliff, and he's like, cigars are evil, What do you think, Chong? Yeah, man, we gotta get rid of them cigars, dude. I mean, come on.
That's the way it's going, man.
Stick with the salmon. You got salmon down. Stop screwing around with everything, man. Stay in the pine tree and salmon business.
Screw those cigar people. We don't need them. Oh, I love it.
If we could have just got the hipsters on board with cigars.
Yeah. Well, how do we do that?
I don't know if we want them, but we kind of do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we kind of do.
It's tough.
Yeah. There's some hope.
You think?
There's some hope.
Yeah.
You just got to figure out how to sell a premium hand rolled cigar to a hipster.
Yeah.
How do you do that? You put patchouli oil in it?
You have like giveaways that come with Birkenstocks, right?
Boba tea.
Yeah, gotta have the boba tea.
I don't even know. I don't think I've ever had.
I don't think
boba tea in
boba
my
tea is
life.
really hipster.
Oh, it's not?
I think boba tea is more tweed girly.
Oh.
It's more boba tea.
Well, because isn't hipster where you pretend to hate everything that's popular?
Right. And you like gravitate towards all the shit that we didn't want to have.
Yeah.
Like Pabst Blue Ribbon.
I was just thinking that.
Right. I don't want to drink that shit when I was a kid. Like, oh man, I couldn't wait until I could afford better beer than Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Exactly.
Cool can, but that beer's for shit. I'm sorry, Pabst.
Oh no, it's.
I mean,
it's been at least 10 years since I had one.
You know what? Maybe I should go back and revisit it.
There you go.
Because look, I'm not a snob when it comes to beer. Like my favorite light beer is like Miller Lite.
Yeah.
I'm perfectly fine with drinking a can of Miller Lite. I
Yeah.
always have been.
So that actually just made me think of a question. Have you ever, or do you on occasion, let's say an old legacy cigar will come to mind,
Yeah.
and just on a whim you're somewhere at a shop and you just say, I haven't smoked one of these in 20 years, and you just grab one and try it?
Yeah, and almost always I'm disappointed.
Okay.
I think the memory is often better than the reality.
Sure.
You know, it's very rare. There's a few. Here it is all this time. I'm still in love with Fuente's Don Carlos.
Yeah.
I think Don Carlos is
Love that
one
cigar.
of the best blends that has ever been made.
And still
Mild to
consistent after all these
medium,
years.
Super consistent.
Yeah.
Light, delicate spice. Look, it doesn't satisfy the nicotine junkie that I am today. It doesn't satisfy my Nikkei Rita black fixation. But that is just a beautiful blend. And here it is. Fast forward, what is it? It's like 30 years now. And I'm still like, wow, this is really good. Look, I feel the same way about Padron 1926s.
Yep.
I mean, look, there's some things about that cigar I don't like, for me personally.
Yeah.
But the blend is the blend.
Yep.
It delivers the flavor profile. As satisfying as I found it back in the mid 90s, late 90s, it's still all there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there are some products like, and then you have other products that, look, I haven't smoked a recent Macanudo. Okay. But I know the Macanudos that I was smoking 10 years ago were nowhere near like the Macanudos I was smoking 30 years ago.
Okay.
The Macanudos from 30 years ago, yeah, they were mild, but they were creamy and they were rich and they had nuance to them, you know. And then, you know, by the time we got to like, I don't know, 2000, 2002, they all just kind of seemed a little thin, a little wispy. It wasn't just that they were mild, they just lacked the depth.
Okay.
Now, maybe it isn't that way now, right? So I don't want anyone to say, oh, Saka's saying all Macanudos are bad, because I have not smoked a Macanudo, a new production Macanudo, in well over, you know what? That's what I'm going to do. Next time I'm at a cigar store that has a good selection of Macanudos, I'm going to make sure, because they probably have like 42 different types now, right?
Oh, yeah.
There's got to be.
There's a lot of SKUs under Macanudo.
That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to revisit Macanudo.
Yeah, there you go. Just see what it's like in 2023.
It just cost me probably like $200.
Oh shit! You can get one for $12.
Yeah, but I'm gonna want to get all of them.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
I don't have to get some large and some small.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna do it, I gotta really do it.
Okay.
And I hope to be pleasantly surprised.
Sure. Absolutely.
Yeah. But those cigars in the late '90s, early 2000s.
Yeah.
They weren't anything like the Macanudos that I got started on.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of that's the impetus for Brulee.
Okay.
Because, look, I'm like every other cigar smoker. I didn't start off smoking Connecticut Broadleaf and sun-grown Criollo.
Yeah.
I smoked Connecticut Shade, right? And I don't know, as time went on, my palate changed, but I didn't just feel like it was my palate. Like, Davidoff white labels to me do not taste at all like the Davidoff white labels tasted to me in the 90s.
Yeah.
Now, maybe they're the same, and maybe my palate is one thing and my memory is different.
Yeah.
But when I was making the Brulee blend, I was trying to blend it to be like the way I remembered those cigars when I fell in love with Connecticut Shade cigars.
Yeah, exactly.
And it wasn't me saying, oh, I want to make Brulee be strong because I like stronger cigars.
Yeah.
I wanted to still be mild, but I wanted it to have some depth, some creaminess, some nuance, a bit of body to it. I mean, and I always tell consumers, there's a difference between body and strength. You know what I mean? Milk chocolate, for example. A piece of Godiva milk chocolate in your mouth is a totally different sensation than a piece of Hershey's.
Yeah. Totally.
They're both on the mild end of cocoa, right?
Yeah.
Or cacao, right? But it's totally different.
Yeah.
The one is lush and it's fatty and it's oily and it just spreads out. And you're like, oh, this is so. And the other one's just kind of like a little thin.
Grainy.
And it's got grainy. And it's kind of chalky. And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, granted, the Hershey bar costs you X and the other one costs you Y.
Yeah.
I get that. Well,
But
you can say the same thing about brulee, right?
Yeah.
A brulee costs you $12 to $14, and you can get an XYZ Connecticut for what? 40 for
4 to 6.
Yeah, $10 for four.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? $40 for 10 of them.
Yeah.
Right, and a free cutter,
and a
free
and a
hat, and free shipping,
and a fanny pack.
Yeah, you're right. So that was the inspiration, was to try to recreate that memory.
Right.
I find a lot of my blends, when you really think about it, it's about recreating my early memories.
Yeah, that was my first premium in '96 was a Davidoff white label.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
well, you started off right there, man.
Oh, they got me. They saw a newbie walking in the shop, and they're like, "I'm gonna." And at the time, it was a $10 cigar, which seems cheap,
right?
But a $10 cigar in '96 was.
Oh, that's real money.
Yeah. So they got me.
I remember when Padron released the anniversaries, and they were $10 a piece.
Yeah.
And we're like, who in their right mind is going to pay $10 for a Padron? Right? We're like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy talk.
Yeah. Now that's a distant memory. A $10 anniversario.
Where things have gotten with just inflation.
That's true.
We are sadly to the point now that like top shelf cigars, they have to be between $14 and $20.
Yeah.
They just do. I'm not saying you can't get a good cigar for $8-9. There's plenty of them out there. But if you really want top shelf, that's just where things are. And as a consumer, I know it's irritating, but just do yourself a favor one day. Get on Google and look at what milk and eggs and gas and everything cost back in 1972.
Yeah.
Cigars actually are pretty much on pace with all the inflation.
Yeah.
They're not actually way ahead or way behind. Yeah, in a certain year, maybe a little. But and the reason why is because in the end, I know we sell cigars as a luxury, but in the end, it's a commodity product. Yeah. It's a consumable, right? It's something where we make relatively very reasonable margins at the factory level, right? We need volume in order for this to work for us.
Yeah.
So it's really very much in line with the inflationary pressures you see on all consumables. It's really not dramatically different.
Yeah.
If you start taking Unicorn and you take Oliva's new $300 whatever it is, and God only knows what the Padron Fuente marriage box is going to cost.
Yeah.
But those are outliers. Just go to a regular humidor and look at the shelves and go, okay, most of the stuff here on the shelf that I think is good is somewhere between $7 and $20.
Yeah.
It's really right on par with normal inflation.
Well, and it's the same for me when I think about just the other consumables in our life that we go through every week. Food, groceries, for example. The majority of groceries we buy to make meals at home, we're not cooking and eating, ribeyes and lobster tails every meal of the week.
Right.
Usually it's ground beef and fish sticks, for the average American family, and then once a week maybe
spaghetti
ribeyes.
Wednesday, Taco Tuesday, right?
And it's the same thing with cigars. The vast majority of guys who smoke a fair number of cigars every week, most of those cigars are in the low price point range, and then one or two are in that top tier that they want to bump things up a little bit. So, and I think that's true for most cigar consumers who live on an average American wage.
For me, it's always relative to your wallet,
right,
and where you want to spend your money,
right.
For me, I own my dream boat. It's 18.5 foot long.
Yeah.
So I don't want a yacht.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't drive a fancy, well-engineered German vehicle.
Yeah.
I drive a pickup truck. So that means I have more money to spend on cigars. I choose to spend more of my money there. But we all just choose. There's things we all spend more on, and we save on other places. It's just a matter of personal taste.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. Everybody, they live within their. You have to.
Right.
Choice you have.
Right.
Or you max out your credit cards until they won't give you anymore.
There's too much of that going on. Well, Steve, we are really super grateful for you, and glad to hear that your trade show has been way beyond expectations.
Yeah, it's a nice feeling.
Yeah.
You're on video right now.
Oh.
Wave hi to the camera. Oh, it's okay.
That's all right.
Introduce
all right.
yourself. Tell them your name. They want to meet you. Guess she's a little shy, folks.
That's all right. That's all right. Yeah, man, we're really glad the trade show's been good for you. Keep doing what you're doing. We're thankful to have you in the industry, and
Just
look
stop
forward
and
to.
suck it up.
No, I'm
Come on,
serious.
go
I'm
interview the
serious,
next
man.
schmuck.
Thanks, guys. We'll
Thanks,
see you
Matt.
again soon.